is Dr. Beverly Yuen Thompson, and I'm an associate professor of sociology at Siena College. I got my PhD in sociology from the New School for Social Research, as it was called at the time, in New York City. To describe my research, I'm a sociologist, and I use ethnographic or qualitative research methods, which means being in the field, observing people, interviewing people, using my camera in the field to take lots of pictures of people behaving as they do in their natural environment, in their subcultures, in their institutions. As a qualitative researcher, that means I really talk to the people that are related to the subject matter that I research. So a lot of my research focuses on subcultures, especially kind of deviant subcultures that are stigmatized in some way, and these really fit with the class I teach on deviant behavior. So you are enrolled in my Sociology of the Family 130 course, and this course basically is an introduction to how sociologists view the family. So first of all, sociologists look at social structures, whereas psychology might look at the individual and the individual's mentality. Sociologists are interested in how social structures shape and influence people, and also how the people, their independence within that structure and how they can create their own individual life. So it's this pull between the social structure and individual agency. That's a major theme in all the sociology courses that you will take. So when we look at the sociology of the family itself is actually a social institution. So this is an institution that's very particular to your culture, to your time period, to your social class, to your race. And those are different social categories that are created to divide and categorize people, and we call those demographic categories. So sociologists, besides social institutions, are also really interested in looking at demographic categories and how those intersect with the social institutions. So for example, your demographic categories that apply to you yourself and how they create your own life. So for example, how old are you? What is your gender? What is your sexual orientation? What is your social class? What is your geographic location? What country are you living in? All of these things are really going to influence and shift who you are as an individual and the choices you can make. So for example, you're probably going to make choices based on what's appropriate for your particular category. And if you pick something that's outside of that category, for example, if you're a man and you pick something that is has been labeled as being associated with women, then you're going to face stigma and social sanctions. And so to avoid that, people usually just make the choice that fits in and brings them social cohesion. So sociologists are also really interested in social issues. And so within sociology of the family, we will be looking at a lot of different kinds of social issues that are related to the family. And you can already start to see what some of those issues would be related to social institutions, related to demographics. And the third category that I really like to bring students' attention to is the issue of power. So how is power exercised by these social institutions upon us as individuals? And also the power that is enacted when individuals engage with each other, especially in roles of hierarchy. So for example, a student and a teacher. How is power represented in the interaction between a student and a teacher, or an employer and a worker, and so on? So therefore, sociologists are really interested in social problems, and that leads to government policy. So another thing that sociologists would look at, and when we look at the family, we would be talking about government policy as it relates to the family. And so one issue that we can think of is marriage. Who can get married? Is it just one man and one woman? 2 men, 2 women? We've just passed nationwide gay marriage in the United States. So things like that, the state control. Some of the social policies that would be related to government policy as well are issues such as childcare. In some countries, childcare is freely provided by the state, whereas in the United States, parents pay up to the price of college tuition for childcare for a small child. So that is a national social policy issue that is of issue and concern for sociologists. So I just wanted to talk about our major assignments in the class as well. As an online class, there's a variety of assignments and assessment tools that will be used throughout the semester. These include exams, multiple choice questions based on the readings and the documentary and movies, so that it just tests if you've read the material and if you've understood it. There's also some discussion board posts where you'll talk about your own understanding of the reading and relate it to another example that you might bring in. And this also gives you a chance to speak to your classmates as well on the discussion board, read what they're reading, respond to their responses as well. Well, since this is an online class, I would like students to gain some skills that are on the online environment. So for 2 of the assignments, you'll actually create your own WordPress.com websites. And so I want the students to just be able to learn how to create online content, since this is an online class, and also just have the demonstrate the ability of public writing. So you create a website where you're writing in an academic and yet personable way. You pay attention to layout and design of the website. You use academic sources properly, and you use more of an academic orientation to the topic at hand, even when you're talking about yourself. So the 2 main WordPress assignments, the first one is the sociological autobiography. So I like students to be able to position themselves. We call it social location. So that means placing you in context of, for example, your demographic attributes, your geographic location, the things that go up to make you who you are as an individual, but also kind of limit you as far as these particular categories and how these categories are shaped by society, and then how you either conform or don't conform to those categories. And also it's important for us to just understand ourselves as they relate to demographic categories, and how large or small, or what are the sociological issues related to that category, so that we can understand our own selves, our own lives, and our lives within society a lot more. So I ask students to use a lot of statistics in their sociological autobiography. If you're Irish American, what percentage of Americans are Irish American? If you were raised in a rural environment, what percentage of Americans are raised in a rural environment? If you're an immigrant or a child of immigrants, what percentage of our society is within that category, and so on. So this assignment invites you to really place yourself in a sociological context, apply sociological theories to your own life, and also be able to write about it in a very personable but academic tone, use academic sources, and then finally make sure that the layout of the website looks good with embedded videos, embedded pictures, hyperlinks, and so on, since it is a website and not a research paper. The final assignment in our online course is also a WordPress website, and this one is based on the concluding research, where you take all the sociological concepts and materials that we've studied all semester and you apply them to your own case in point. So you might choose an example of the topics that we've covered all semester and find some other academic literature, journal articles, books, and so on this topic, and then design a website just like your sociological autobiography at the beginning of the semester. Now this is your second WordPress blog post, and so you should have the hang of how to organize the website, insert the hyperlinks, insert the pictures and video, make it really look professionally done, and then this can also fit into your work as your student portfolio work that you can upload on the Sienna website.